Field Command Napoleon, the ambitious multiplayer overhaul for Total War Napoleon, is preparing to drop its biggest update yet, version 9.0. And if you thought this mod was already huge, you're going to want to sit down for this. FCN 9.0 isn't just a content patch, it is a total battlefield rethink and campaign overhaul. Over 800 new units, 10 plus new factions, massive balance changes, and brand new battle maps built for 60,000 plus unit clashes. This is the largest update in the mod's history, and it's about to change the way you play Napoleon forever. What started humbly as a community-driven passion project just to scale up Napoleon's battles into full war zones has become one of the most sophisticated and feature-rich mods in the Total War space. There are, of course, other huge mods just like this, NTW3, Darth mod, etc., but the Field Command team keep pushing the boundaries here, and the battles are some of the most memorable that I've ever played. And with a new campaign update, things are getting even more interesting for the mod and this community. Now, before we dive straight in, if you don't own Total War Napoleon, you are enjoying what this looks like and you want to try it for yourself, you can pick up the game and its DLCs with a massive 81% off on Instant Gaming, a reputable game key reseller that I've been using for a little while now. They have a great roster of games on sale like Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered, Crusader Kings 3 Chapter 4, or even the entire Total War catalog, all with big discounts. So if you're thinking about buying, make sure to click the link below to get your games for cheap and support the channel at the same time. Now let's get back to the video. Starting with the new additions to the campaign, while this isn't a completely ground-up rebuild, FCN 9.0 brings a fully updated and overhauled version of the original 6.1 campaign. So it's been a little while since things have been updated here, rebuilt and refined by Dan the Mantis, which is the main modder working on the campaign, to match the newer systems and factions introduced since then. And speaking of factions, FCN 9.0 is reintroducing fan favorites that have been previously removed, along with 3 completely new nations. All of them come with updated rosters, new units, and in some cases, entirely new mechanics. The campaign side of things especially will come with updated and more historically accurate characters, UI, building and economy systems, tons of bug fixes and optimizations, the whole works. This means a broader range of national identities, more tactical diversity on the battlefield, as if it couldn't get even more diverse here, and most importantly, a drastically expanded sense of historical scope. And that's what you really want out of a campaign overhaul, especially for a game like Napoleon, where things can get quite stagnant and bland after a few turns. FCN is really turning things up a notch here, and with Dan the Mantis at the helm of this side of the mod, I have no doubt it's going to surprise a lot of people. Aside from the campaign though, Field Command Napoleon has always been about pushing the limits of the battlefield, and this update doesn't just expand the roster, it reshapes the terrain those armies fight on. I love it when modders build brand new original battle maps, new layouts with elevation, tactical points, choke points, all of that. And while, some of CA's maps are actually pretty good for Napoleon, these new FCN maps promise to really push some limits. Over 10 brand new custom maps are being introduced in version 9.0, all designed specifically to accommodate the enormous scale of FCN's battles, which, if you didn't know before, can feature upwards of 60,000 troops in play at once. And you can just imagine with that number how big, how enormous the scale of the battlefields can be. One of the most common pieces of feedback from the community was that maps felt cramped and difficult to maneuver in large-scale battles, and essentially the mod team have listened, and the new maps are wider, more open, and tactically richer. More space to maneuver, flank, and adapt in real time, turning every engagement into a dynamic test of strategy, not just brute force, and especially when you think of the multiplayer battle potentials and scenarios, that's the kind of update you definitely want out of a mod like this. And here's another headline number for you. If you thought 60,000 troops was impressive, this update will have over 800 new units being added into FCN. And these aren't just skins or stat copies either. They represent a full suite of tactical options across infantry, cavalry, artillery, specialist units. With these additions, many new nations will now field entirely reimagined rosters that give them unique tactical strengths and, of course, weaknesses as well. But adding that many units creates its own challenge, of course. So FCN 9.0 is also bringing a complete balance pass to the mod, and that includes a new pricing system for units to reflect their actual performance in battle, buffs and nerfs across the board to ensure no faction dominates the meta, which is super important, especially in multiplayer mods, and a reworked morale system making battlefield momentum and shock tactics more important than ever. It's a very delicate balance, trying to offer more variety without breaking the experience, and FCN is aiming to strike that balance with a firm hand and a historically grounded approach. And best of all, there will be an improved user interface, including performance and stability enhancements to help manage these massive clashes. None of this, of course, would be possible without the Field Command Napoleon community, which remains one of the most passionate and active in the historical Total War modding scene. From organizing multiplayer events to sharing balance feedback, testing builds, and creating tutorials, the community has shaped this mod just as much as the team behind it. And if you want to stay involved or just see what's coming next, check out the mod's official YouTube channel, where the developers post gameplay, updates, installation guides, and more. Whether you're a veteran of 6.1 or you're just jumping in for the first time, now's the perfect time to get involved. This isn't just a mod, it is a live project, constantly evolving with input from the people who play it. Overall, Field Command Napoleon 9.0 shows what's possible when a community rallies behind a vision. Massive battles, smart balance, tactical depth, and historical flavor, all wrapped up into one of the most complete Napoleonic experiences Total War has ever seen. From new factions and reworked campaigns to 800 new units and 10 sprawling maps built for true tactical warfare, FCN is setting a new standard for what a multiplayer overhaul can really be. So whether you're a line infantry enjoyer, a cav micro specialist, or just someone who wants to experience the chaos of 60,000 men firing at each other in a foggy valley at dawn, version 9.0 has something for you. Stay tuned for mod news and when version 9.0 releases by subscribing to the mod, joining the Discord, and consider reporting bugs if you're going to play it as well. All of this, as I said, is community driven. Everyone has something to offer, so step forward. This is the kind of project that only happens when people come together for a shared goal. And that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, give it a like, drop any thoughts or questions in the comment section below, subscribe to the channel for more like this, and let me know what other mods and updates you'd like me to cover on the channel next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.